All right, so with Mr. R, we're going to work a little bit with some of our loose leash walking. So right there you can see again, if he gets a little distracted doing some sniffing, not the end of the world, but I would recommend to when you are going to practice, pick an environment where your dog feels comfortable. So I love doing loose leash walking actually inside the home as well as in the yard, especially if your pup doesn't quite know what the loose leash walking kind of consists of. So remember, you want to have your leash nice and relaxed. I know we got a little interrupted earlier. My littlest one had to go to the restroom. So I'm going to get Mr. R's attention. And what I recommend in the beginning is that you want to keep your repetitions short and sweet. So what I mean is you want to have a really high rate of reinforcement. Ruger. Yes. So I'm also marking behavior. So when Mr. R does something that I like, be it a skill or a behavior or a cue, I'm going to go ahead. Ready? Ruger. Yes. And I'm going to feed him, but also mark that moment with my YES. So I like to say yes when he's doing the right behavior. So that way, as he's practicing, Ruger. Let's say he gets a little distracted by my little one sitting up on her table doing a couple snacks. I might say his name or do that little positive interrupter to regain his focus. Ready? Nice. If, let's say, Mr. R gets ahead and let's say there's that tension like I mentioned earlier, yes. Give him the chance to feel the tension and then realize when he feels it, it might equal come check in. Good job, Ruger. 2, Mr. R might have to go out for a little potty break in a moment, but we'll see if we can do a few more little skills and bring him out for a little rest room in just a moment. So if you're finding your puppy's extremely wild or super mouthy or having a little bit of a moment, it could be that the disconnect is also happening because they might have to go to the bathroom. So I do find sometimes make sure that your beauties have been emptied and that they're kind of ready to rumble. A lot of times too, though, their very first day at doggy day school does consist of getting comfortable in the environment with the sights and sounds. Ready, Ruger? So right now he's noticed my little one. If he gets stuck on something, I like to walk down the leash to then go right to his little sniffer and regain his attention to bring him back to wherever I wanted him to be. So I don't yank on the gear and I don't pull on him, but we're going to maybe go ahead and maybe we'll sneak Mr. R out for a little potty. Ready, Ruger? And then we'll go from there because I want to show you some work with the long line as well. Ready? Ruger. He's like, but hold on, there's a friend coming. Yes. So maybe what we'll do too is, Ebba, do you want to come over and we'll do a little bit with some proper hellos before we bring him out for a potty? So Ruger says, that sounds amazing. He's so excited. So ready? Oops, dropped one. So he'll go do a little find it if he's interested. Ruger. Nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go over to Ebba. She's stuck behind a little doggy corral. So she's in her own little bubble. So that way when the puppies are practicing and she's doing her thing, they both have their little zones for safety, but also for practice sake. So I'm going to go over. We're going to go ahead and open the little gate. And I know I'm out of camera range right now, but then we'll allow Ebba to come on over this way and we'll do a couple little proper hellos. So here, Hippo, you can come on out. I'm just going to go bring them off to the side. So remember that if your pup hasn't done much work with other new people or other new little ones, I would recommend to keep it really nice and easy. So Ebba, what I'd like you to do is come on over here sort of into the middle. Look at Mama, Ebba, right around here, okay? Ruger says, oh my gosh, I can't wait to say hi. Oh, what a nice little sit. So stay right there, Ebba. So in the beginning, if Mr. R seems interested, Ebba, sit right there for 1 second. He's doing a very nice job, but I don't want him to always think that just because someone comes to visit, we instantly go say hello. So I want him to sometimes come back to me, do a little check-in, sort of get him to think that there's value in not going right to the distraction. First step is how do they approach? So notice how Mr. R felt the tension and he did a little U-turn, headed back towards me. That was really nice. So Ebba, while you're hanging out there, Mummy and Ruger are going to come a little bit closer. So we're going to go ahead and we get closer to the friend and I go right into a find it. No, he's doing a great job. So let's say he's doing a real nice job. You'll see find it's in the beginning are my go-to dance move when your puppy doesn't know what to do. So I like to add movement as opposed to stationary behavior when your puppies are sometimes, let's say, a bit too eager or overwhelmed. So what I'm doing for Mr. R, ready, Ruger, find it, is as he's warming up near the little one, we're not instantly going right into hellos when he comes in with a little bit too much excitement. So ready, Ruger, sit. So if you weren't getting this type of check-in, then make sure you're creating more distance. So but you hold still for 1 second. okay? And we'll come, oh my goodness, chewing. And we'll come over and do a little high. So ready, sit? Nice. So Hippo, you're not going to do a high with some touches yet. We're just going to come over. He's going to come smell, and then I'll do a little U-turn. So I'm going to bring him over. I like to go ahead and set him up near the friend, and then we'll go. So remember, Mommy said no hellos quite yet because I don't want him to get too excited. So Ebba just loves saying hi to everybody, almost like most of the doggy day school students. So we want to make sure, though, that if we're adding touches, the puppy is part of the process, and they have the chance to say, I would like that engagement or I don't. So sometimes if your puppy's coming in hot and heavy, that could also be a symptom of them saying, technically, I'm a little overwhelmed, and maybe they do need to come at it a little softer or with more space between them and the distraction. So what I'd like you to do, Ebba, is we're going to do a little bit again where Ruger comes over, we'll get a little sit, and then I want you to just kind of ignore him, but I'm going to give you a few snacks, and I want you to do a few find-its for him. Here. So you toss a couple snacks. Oh, there we go. So the benefit of sometimes having the other person, go ahead, toss some snacks on the floor. Nice. Is Ruger now, as opposed to going right into jumping or mouthing her, toss them on the floor, Ebba, please. Is now Mr. R is doing some find-its. So very nice. Beautiful. Ebba, can you come this way? No, that's too many. One at a time. All right, so Ebba just dumped them all, so whatever works. So the benefit of doing some find-its, and you just heard his little friend from Doggy Day School. Ready? Ruger. Is the benefit of, he's like, oh my gosh, there is a friend here. So the benefit of some find-its is it can help your puppy redirect. Ebba, hold on one second. He'll find them in a second. Right now he's a little distracted because he heard his other Doggy Day School students. So if your puppy does get a little eager about something, I would recommend to try to work on disengagement and have it seem valuable to take a break. Ready? Ruger. I know he's doing a real nice job. Great job, sir. So if you can get some of these lovely little check-ins, make sure you're feeding for all this lovely bounce back onto you. Otherwise, if you're not as cool as, of course, the neighbor or the friend, because they're that novel thing, you want to start creating value in seeing something, but then disengaging and being fed for doing those lovely bounce backs to you. So for Mr. R right now, he's doing a great job. We might do a little find it. Gorgeous. And now we might try another little approach. Ebba, can you come this way, my love? Ready? So let's say Ruger says, oh my gosh, this little human looks wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and give you some snackies, Ebba. Can you toss them on the floor for him? So go ahead, toss them on the floor. So the benefit of sometimes doing find-its for a dog that's an eager beaver, well, you have to show it to him falling, is that it can help him find the person to not be the exciting part, but instead the searching for the snack. So this way, you're taking the value off of the target, which could be that new person or your family member or your spouse, and now you're having your puppy meander, and as they're moving around, remember they're also getting some of that energy out. So telling Mr. R to just sit still as a little human came, but that was his tickly face, but nice little positive interrupter right there for that little check-in. But movement behaviors are immensely helpful. Here you go, nice job, because it keeps your puppy up and wiggling when otherwise they might feel trapped or overwhelmed by the setup. So since he's on equipment, he might think, gee, there's no escape from this, but we want him to realize that if he's a little bit flustered, he can always move away and create distance. So, but we'll go ahead, we'll give Mr. R a little break. He's like, lady, let's go play with that wild little lady. And we're going to bring Mr. R out for a little potty, and then maybe we'll work a few more little skills with him in just a bit. But he's doing a really nice job. And again, just kind of keep it simple and easy for the handsome guy so it's not too overwhelming. Ready, Ruger? Nice job, sir.